Well, good evening on this 24th day of March. Indeed, a time for us to be a little bit sort of sad based on the reports that we are receiving, but all the same, we keep hope alive and we continue calling upon each other to ensure that we take precautionary measures even as we continue to battle with this tight situation of the COVID-19 as a country. Constant, of course, communication and reminder from the government. Indeed, an important time as a people for us to be sure and to ensure that at least we get to listen into what the government has to say and the precautionary measures that have been brought on board that we all stick and abide by. So welcome on board. My name is Linda Alela. It is time for PledgeWatch. Amid all this hullabaloo, we do not stop. Of course, we say that we're going to soldier on and we cross fingers for the best. And guess who the guest of the day is this beautiful evening? Honorable Shakil Shabir Ahmed. I want to use that name, of course, that is normally not used commonly. So welcome on board. Indeed, it's going to be an interesting show, not forgetting that we have to discuss the coronavirus and we also get to know how constituencies are dealing with this, respective constituencies with different ways of dealing with this. But most importantly, it is that one goal that we all are able to fight this battle. And I'm also doing this with Josephine Ouko as my sign language interpreter. So welcome on board once again. Let's do this. Let's keep the ball rolling because that's very much important. I mean, at the end of the day, times might be tough, things might be tough, but eyes on the prize. So welcome aboard. Remember, hashtag PledgeWatch is where you can tweet us on, and of course at Linda_Alela. Let's get to hear what you have to say about what is happening. We are focusing our eyes on Kisumu East, and we ask this question as Kisumu East received as much love as it gave to Honorable Shakil. So welcome on board once again. We have so much in store, and indeed we're looking forward to hear from you. And of course, as we get to just take a look at what he's done for the people of Kisumu East, so much is happening in regards to ensuring that, of course, Kisumu East is made proper. And I mean, we cannot forget the fact that he's been mayor of Kisumu. And the biggest question then would be, all these years after he's done all this, I mean, has he been able to do something that is indeed worth? That's exactly what we'll be asking him this particular evening. So much so one would argue that probably it's not the right time to discuss this, but all the same we say development goes hand in hand with matters politics, and no matter how tight things are, things have to keep moving, and that's exactly what we're doing. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for finding time. I know it's a tight time for you to be here, but all the same we say we're grateful.
Thank you.
And
Thank
the
you.
people of Kisumu is longing to hear from you.
Yes.
I mean, they have lots of questions. They probably do not get a chance to interact with you on a one-on-one basis.
Oh,
but
they do.
Oh, yes, they do?
Oh, yes.
But anyway, even better on such videos where, of course, or mediums where they get to equally ask their questions without, with fear of favor, fear of being sort of pointed fingers at. So welcome once again. And I think we'll go straight to it. It is quite a sad affair as it stands right now. And I think I'll start by asking this question. Yes, one would want to know how are the counties prepared in terms of dealing with COVID-19. Every time we're getting the directives from different governors, what are the counties at the level of the constituencies, sort of doing to equally see to it that this is indeed dealt with proper. But I'll pick on the latest from Kisumu East, or Kisumu, so to speak, and we look at the aspect of where the country is at right now, the need for proper sanitation at its height. But then again, you look at the fact that we're talking about Kiwasco deciding to sort of close down one of the treatment plants. What does it speak? What does it tell the people of Kisumu East?
I was the mayor of the city.
Yes.
And we were being forced by the World Bank to privatize water and sewage. I wasn't for it, but we thought, okay, water and sewage should have been commercialized, not privatized.
Okay.
Had it been properly commercialized, then it would have been value for money. So firstly, when you talk about Kiwasco, let me tell you that Kiwasco has inherited and done nothing more than run the old system. As the mayor, we had negotiated with the Germans and the French to improve the water supply system.
Right.
Improve the water supply distribution system, the water supply treatment works, and generally the whole sewage system. And I remember this was negotiated well in the years 2000 and before. Unfortunately, the World Bank, the French Foundation and others, they were more interested in doing things systematically, which is fine. But you see, you cannot, and there's somebody decided that they first have to do a distribution system. You cannot do a distribution system based upon what we have. If the body, if you see your own body, you have a heart.
Yeah.
From the heart, you get an aorta going that thick. And then there's the vein coming back. And they go up to these little fingers here. And you have capillaries and whatever artery here.
Yeah.
So that the heart pumps the blood to every corner of the body.
Right.
And the heart has that capacity. You cannot leave the old system and decide that at the end of this finger, we are going to put another hand.
Okay.
And then everything comes to capillary, and then from here you put a big pipe.
Right.
It's being fed by the capillary. It cannot feed the pipe. Then the distribution system must be treated.
Yeah.
You've got the largest lake in the world. We have, at that time, when I was a mayor,
Right.
we were able to pump 20,000 cubic meters of water a day.
Yeah.
Up to. We were selling about 18,000 to 16,000 cubic meters of water. Of that, about 12,000 cubic meters of water was coming from the lake, 12 to 13,000. And about 4,000 or 3,000 cubic meters of water was coming from what we call the filter across on the Kajulu Hills. They haven't improved it. Matter of fact, it's gone down. The cubic capacity of water that's been delivered is
going down.
It's gone
and
down.
that should basically be the biggest worry of every other common mwananchi, because the essence of leadership, one, is yes, to ensure that things are running proper at the particular time when you are on helm, but most importantly, to ensure that you set up, policies that are going to protect the future. Would we then be unfair to say that at that particular time when you were in helm, alongside the rest of the people who were leading at that particular time, did not put up proper measures, and you were looking at that particular area and not looking at what the future would hold?
You see, what you do is a relay.
Yeah.
When we negotiated these things, we negotiated for the whole works.
Yeah.
I handed over as the mayor to somebody else, and the systems went to somebody else.
Right.
Now, whether those colleagues of mine decided it's more valuable to go and do those huge distribution networks.
Would you not
pipes.
have played an activism role? I mean, now that you're still a member of parliament, and you
Yes.
see that, okay, well, this is something that is going to land my people in trouble.
But we are.
And actually, the reason why you are a representative on behalf of your people.
Yes, but we are. I mean, as a matter of fact, I am in Kajulu, and my people are in Kolwa in Kajulu.
Yeah.
We have talked to Kiwasco, and we have said to them very clearly, if you do not serve water, and one of my campaign pledges is fresh water. I said, Kajulu, where we are, we have 6,000 cubic meters of water.
Right.
It's drying
Kajulu
up.
is suffering, is drying
Yeah,
up.
no,
yes.
but you don't have water. There's a Kajulu filter just there,
Right.
and the village over here has no water because they pump that water directly, and it goes directly to the town. You see, me, I'm not interested in the town anymore.
But you know that should be cause for alarm, Mushimiwa, knowing very well that you are the member of parliament.
Yes.
You're supposed to represent your very own
Exactly.
people. And before we even delve to the aspect of water, I think it's important, because then that we'll discuss for sure, because the people of Kajulu, the people of Kisumu East sort of feel like, they are not being represented as expected, because some of these key issues have been addressed for the longest time possible, since probably that time when you sort of left the mayorship. And I think it's reason for them to actually point fingers and then say that the leadership is not doing what it's supposed to do. But before we even delve deeper into that, there's an issue of sanitation and so much so. But then we're looking at the state that we're in right now, where indeed every other person from every helm is coming in to ensure that at least we're able to fight this pandemic, coronavirus. It is almost inevitable to fight this, or it's vital to fight this with the presence of water, running water. That is something that is being spread by the leadership or spoken about by the leadership as it stands today. So what message would you tell the people who you are actually representing?
Look, if Kiwasco doesn't, we're prepared to break those pipes. We have decided to take over.
All right.
We are saying we are taking over. If you cannot run that Kajulu water filter, we'll take it over.
So are we expecting mass action or something?
We as the people are going to take over.
All right.
And that's basically it. Because the thing is, you see, the governor is not interested. The governor of Kisumu County...
What makes you say that?
Why, from the actions.
Evidently.
He's obviously not interested in Kisumu East.
And you mentioned something that is very critical on the aspect of what some of these investors come and dictate. And we ask ourselves, one, not just as a constituency or as a county, but technically, even as a people of Kenya, do we have social contracts that guide us? Because many a times, you realize that some of these investors come and they call the shots, contrary to what it should be. Why?
Yeah, look at this issue of the sugar factory.
Yes.
Who is the one who's fighting it all the time? I am. I have had threats. They've set out contracts on me. But I have insisted, no way, you are not going to pollute this river. And they've been polluting it, and it's everybody knows.
Do you realize that it's a different narrative that is on ground? That, okay, then we have the Asian brothers that are actually doing this and polluting, contrary to you coming out to represent the people, but they're doing this under your watch, and you're probably covering them.
Rubbish. As a matter of fact, go and look on the ground. Who are they blaming the most? It's not my other politicians who are going to take kickbacks from them. Oh yeah, they're Asian. I'm not Asian. I'm a Luo. Yeah. My color might be right, but I know those people. No, my color might be there, but I am one of the strongest opposers. I've taken this thing by petition, even to the Senate. What you're finding right now is the culmination of the addition of 4 years work. It's not now. I'm the first guy who took samples of water. You see, the guys don't see this. All they see is a nation and a nation. They don't know that those guys hate my guts. They don't know that they're after me in every way possible. There's not only that. There is the garbage that they have taken and put in a quarry. And that again, I've taken this issue up. I've been to the NEMA. I have a petition to the Senate. I have a petition at Parliament. And these guys have NEMA and whatever with the governor and all that, they are fighting me all the way.
How is this possible when the argument on ground again is that, yes, this is the third time you're a member of Parliament?
That's correct.
Well, under the new dispensation of the new constitution, the second term.
Yes.
And the argument is, as much as maybe, yes, you could have done something for the people of Kisumu, equally there's a large population of the Asian community within Kisumu, and probably
don't mix me with the Asians.
All right.
Asians have nothing to do with me.
Okay.
I have nothing to do with them. I have very few friends who are Asians. Matter of fact, I stay very clear of them because it's not my interest. They don't vote for me. My competitors may have gone to the Asian community. They are the ones who are being sponsored to fight me.
All right.
They're sponsored by these factories and everything. They sponsor them. Me, I've got nothing to do with them.
All right, Mheshimiwa, let's listen in to what, of course, one of your MCAs, member of the County Assembly,
oh, he's one of the corrupt.
Yes, listen in. Let's listen in to what they had to say. And we, of course, come back and get your reactions on the same.
The Member of Parliament did very well in the first year in his office. In fact, the first term, the Honourable did very well, if to be very honest, because during that time, Kisumu East, as a Kisumu town constituency by then, was going through a lot of problems in terms of infrastructure. And I remember very well when the MP did put a lot of money in doing some of our roads, like you talk of Gotnyabondo coming down to Gita, where I come from. I'm the only ward where I represent. The Member of Parliament did do a lot of work, like the road I'm specifically mentioning. It did help us in construction, and that road was impassable. So we saw a lot of good things that the Member of Parliament did in his first term in office. Apart from that, there were lots of improvement in the local schools. Let me talk about Kianja Primary School. That is the school that I attended as a young boy. The Honourable Member of Parliament did help us investing in about 2-3 classrooms, which are still serving our people up to now. But I want to also be categorical to say that in the last term, the MP has not done very well. As a friend, I would wish to say, and also to encourage the Member of Parliament, that his third term, because this is his third term, is not worked a lot hard, the way he did in the first term. So we've been asking the Honourable MP, if there is money, the CDF, which he controls about 130 million per year, and you've sat down and you've subdivided the sub-county. Like Kajulu, we have the 5 of them, Kajulu, Kolwa East, Kolwa Central, Nyalenda, and Manyata. How much do you invest in areas like Kajulu? Because this is one of the vast wards that we have. In fact, Kajulu is about 38.8 kilometers squared. In terms of proportionality in development money, Shakil has not done very well in Kajulu. Because apart from the things that he did, as I've counted the school and also the road that he did in my area, it's gone quiet. So when you go quiet, then the people start complaining or asking, where is our Member of Parliament? Why am I saying so? There are some of the major roads like the Mamboleo Miwani Road. That is a national government road. We have gone with the Member of Parliament, our Member of Parliament, to the place. We made promises and the rest. The MP then started following that. We were being told that this road is either Kera, Kenha, things like that. So the road became an orphan. So what is the work of a Member of Parliament? Is to represent the people in the constituency. You take that initiative. You don't sleep. Go there, sit there, see if this road was declassified, then can you then try to make it be reclassified? The bridge is almost gone. So if the bridge is gone, what is the work of the Member of Parliament? Our Member of Parliament is so much used to giving out unga, and in fact it's called Baba Unga. I don't say that that is wrong. Well, that is one of his ways of campaigning. He gives us unga. But is it commensurate with the kind of development that the same people get? I would tend to wish that if he would have invested the way he used to do, to invest in fertilizer and seeds. By the way, Honorable Shakil used to do that. But nowadays he's not doing that. So if you invest in the seeds and invest in the fertilizer, then the people go to the farm and farm. When they farm, they have the produce. Then buy from them and take it to the funerals. But if you buy this one from outside and bring it back, you don't develop the people, they don't farm, they don't do what? They now become people who are depending on hand to mouth. I would wish to encourage and say this to our Member of Parliament, that if he can at least try to invest in the lives of the local young people by giving them their jobs, he would have done much better to us than what is happening now. I do not want to talk so much about Kibos, and I've always maintained my stand on that because it is in the border between us and the Miwani people. And the Miwani people get a lot of support from that place. Kajulu people as well get a lot of support from Kibos. And in fact, Kibos has employed quite a number of our people. But, of course, do we then focus on employment and forget about the lives of the common man who is at risk? Of course, the county government has made several trips to that, the national government as well. And Kibos have said that they are working on the disposal of their wastes. But the people have been going through a lot of problems. When the people go through all these problems, they have health issues, which is a concern to them. We as political leaders would not just sit and fold up our ends. And that is why we've been making noise to Kibos. My take on this is that Kibos should adhere to the NEMA regulations which have been there, such that they see how to treat all their effluents, all their wastes, both solid and also liquid. The issue of the bursaries, I would wish to say that it has not worked very well lately. As I said in the first term of office, Mheshimiwa used to be very excellent even in terms of bursary. But as at now, I remember that just last about 1 month ago or 2 months ago, somewhere about, there was an announcement that the people in Form 1 should go and take. But you realize that the numbers who are now applying the bursaries are dwindling a lot. Why are they dwindling a lot? Number one, when they go, you find that the forms are being distributed at the constituency office. We have 5 wards. It is very difficult for a woman to walk all the way from Gotnyabondo to Kibos for a bursary, where she may find only 4,000. So it doesn't make economical sense to them if you can walk 3, 4, 5 times for 4,000. So you find that the interest has gone down. I'm saying that because I'm also a leader in this in this sub-county, and I've seen the way people are seriously looking for the bursary. So for this year and the last year or this term, the bursary insurance has not been to the par. Mheshimiwa, out of 10, as at now, I would say 5. 5, that means average out of 10. So 5 because of what he's been doing in the last 5 years. 5 at the same time because what he has been doing now in the third term has been wanting. Mheshimiwa has not done very well in the third term, and that I have to be very honest with him. So then there's another thing that you need to ask Mheshimiwa, that in this country, we have almost 300 constituencies. Out of these 300 constituencies, it's only Mheshimiwa Shakil Shabir who has employed his wife as the CDF manager out of all these ones. So you need to tell us the rationale, because there's so many deserving cases. There's so many Kenyans who needs the job. You are the MP, you are earning. Of course, he always says that even the wife is a voter, so she's also, but you see, there's conflict of interest. You cannot have your wife as the CDF manager, managing the funds, and you are the MP who is the patron.
All right, there you go. And before we get Mheshimiwa to react on that, because we'll be going step by step, because they're crucial issues, and I think he's the best person to be able to address this, I think it's important then that we take a breather, and then we'll be right back with the same.
Can be picked from the census. So you can see here we have the incoming information that is coming in form of the stimuli.
In the First World War, the Second World War, of course, is quite much of a spending. And that in post-wars, of course, USA almost emerged as a victor because its economy was quite strong.
The process or the how of gaining evidence so that you can plunge or you can fill in the gap that you have already identified within our first phase of the process.
So we have a variety of categories that we can talk of as vulnerable, where we have the infants and the young children, we have the pregnant and the lactating women, we have the elderly.
Avoid, you see, threatening questions. If you don't tell me today, now are you helping? That's not us. That's not a counseling session. So we say you also avoid what you call threatening. They should always be avoided at any given time in any counseling session.
Coronavirus COVID-19 is a respiratory virus spreading across the world. The infection is spread from droplets of coughing and sneezing of an infected person, touching or shaking hands, or being in contact with contaminated surfaces or objects with the virus. The signs and symptoms are fever, coughing, headache, body ache, difficulty in breathing. The disease can be prevented by regularly washing hands with soap and running water. Avoid close contact with people who have flu-like symptoms. Avoid handshake, hugs, and kissing. Also, protect yourself by covering your mouth or nose using a disposable tissue while coughing or sneezing. If you experience these symptoms and you had traveled or been in contact with a person from a country reporting COVID-19, you should isolate yourself for 14 days and seek immediate medical attention or report to the nearest health center. This message has been brought to you by the Government of Kenya and its partners. For accurate information on COVID-19, dial *719# or call 719. Follow us on Twitter at MOH_Kenya, at spokesperson GOK, at WHO.
All right, and the conversation actually did not stop. We kept on having this conversation as we were on a break, and we bring it back. Hashtag PledgeWatch. Let's get to hear what you have to tell Mheshimiwa, or what questions you have for him this evening. It's pretty much important. And of course, we get to hear what indeed also the people of Kisumu East sort of feel in regards to his performance all these years that he's been on the helm. One, we do not overlook the aspect that he's been mayor of Kisumu and now crossing over to 3 terms as Member of Parliament, Kisumu East. And that those were sentiments by Roy Sambu. He's a Kajulu MCA. And we went to hear Mheshimiwa sort of just weigh in his sentiments in regards to these issues. And we picked them one by one from what he raised right at the top all the way. First key thing, he acknowledges that indeed, during your first term, you did something, Mheshimiwa. And I think this is something that has been leveled.
He was
a voter, common mwananchi down there.
He was an activist. He wasn't even there.
Activism, you know very well, runs the...
but negative.
All right.
Yes.
Why do you consider that negative when he's raising issues that probably are of concern to the people?
That we did the road, the only cement road. You see, the thing is, a person, he's a leader. Mm-hmm. He's an MCA for the first term. I think he will never come back.
When was this cement road done?
I have been doing it over the last 10 years.
All right.
Bits and pieces. You know, we don't have money, so we save. I save every month, every year.
Okay.
We save bits and pieces and whatever. I've been doing, I think, about 10, 12 kilometers on something that up the hill, which has never been, they could never, there was no way a vehicle could ever go up the road.
How big is this road that we're talking about?
It's a 3-meter road.
3-meter road?
Yes.
And when was the last time when you'd say, okay, well, everything down, tools down, we are done with this road?
No.
Or we're still ongoing? You're still
We're continuing.
Yeah?
We're doing this. I want a cement road from Mamboleo all the way up to the Nandi County.
Right.
Matter of fact, that will open up that Kajulu, which was always closed. That's what we're opening up.
Yeah.
And so now even there was not long ago, when I'm told the deputy president even utilized that road before the last election to come to take a shortcut into Kisumu.
To Kisumu.
Yes.
But then again, there are still issues to do with roads, and I think we'll mention them as we proceed. But first of all, let's try and dissect what Roy Sambu had to say. And then, of course, we would ask, when he says that you've done so well during the first term and now crossing over to this side, it's such a common phrase, especially when we're dealing with second term, leaders at this particular point. I mean, what always informs such a thing? Or what is it that you did special then and you're not doing right now? Or what exactly is it that you're doing now as a member of parliament of Kajulu East? Kisumu East.
Kisumu. You see, when I took over, even as the mayor, I allowed people to come back and do their job. I left. I was brought back by the president. I was brought back to do another term.
Yeah.
In the first term as the MP, there were lots of problems, and we've been doing. You see, it's a funnel approach. Sometimes there's so much that hasn't been done. Yeah. So when you start doing that, it's impact. Like the road, like the electricity. There's people ever since God made this beautiful earth. They had never seen electricity. They had never seen a road. The schools we have mud classrooms. Right now, there's not a single mud classroom in my constituency. 58 public schools, no mud classroom. There were mud classrooms. There were people people who were falling into rivers. They were dying.
Right.
I put up bridges. These things we have had to do, and which is incremental. Every term has its time. It's an incremental. Now, this gentleman here, who are just when you criticize, you're pointing with one finger and 4 are you. You, my friend, are the MCA, and what does devolution say? That you must be on the ground.
All right.
And the MP is a national figure.
They say they're not even allowed to distribute something as simple as the bursaries.
No, why is there? No, why? Do you see what you're not allowed to?
You see, like for instance, Mheshimiwa, in my very own constituency, that is within Nairobi, where my ward, my MCA is the one who sort of has been giving out bursaries. And according to him, this is not the case. It's the constituencies that is handling the bursaries. Why is it so? I mean, is there no clear line? Is there no clear line?
Very clear line.
Yeah.
You see, the county gets the majority of the funds.
Right.
and the constituency gets certain amount of funds.
Okay.
Like we have 120 million shillings last year, 125. So out of that 125, what is called administration and other statutory takes about 25 million. Statutory meaning all the other issues.
Sure.
Then out of that, you can take a maximum of certain 25%. I take the maximum bursary we can, 35 million. So we're now down to 70 million net for development. Now out of the 70 million, I have 5 constituencies, 5 wards. I make them 7 wards.
Right.
So that's how we're going to put 10 million per ward. What are you going to do with 10 million? You can hardly make 5 classrooms.
Right.
So that we do that. And we try and make the impact. He's forgotten to tell you that mine is the only constituency right now. We have been putting 3-story classrooms, not single-story, 3-story classrooms. And only thing that we see here in Kibra is what they've done. In Kibra, there are no schools like ours. In Mombasa, there are no schools like ours. Those are we are in the, what you call, I am on the countryside.
Okay.
So we do this. Whereas now let's go to the county. The county of Kisumu gets 9 billion shillings or 8.9 billion shillings a year from the central government. Forget what the money they earn themselves. So what let's say even 8 billion, let's even say 7 billion. And you divide that into 7 constituencies, that's 1 billion a constituency.
All right.
And you say, okay, even if you take, let's go backwards, let's say 7 billion or 8 billion, 50% of that goes to recurrent cost.
All right.
So that's 4 billion.
Okay.
And 4 billion, you divide it by 7, it's maybe 550 million per constituency. That should go to development. I challenge the governor, I challenge the MCAs.
I am curious.
I challenge the MCAs to show me any development in my constituency worth 10 million. Don't worry about the 100 million. Let's talk about 10 million, 15 million. I go and do a road, which I'm not meant to do. I'm only meant to do classes, security, and bursaries.
And now let's talk about classes and security.
And not roads.
Yeah.
But I do them. Then when I do them, the counties come and put their figure, they put their board. This guy goes and says he's done it. He takes our bursary forms. He wants what he wants.
Yeah.
Now what he wanted is for me, coming to me and saying, Mishimiwa, give me bursary forms. I have 200 or 500 people I want to give them to. No.
Right.
You cannot give them. You've got your own bursary. Why you want to get me to give you the forms so that you can go and sell them to the bursary? Let us approach the schools directly. And those people, we don't expect people to come to see us.
Right.
We go to the schools and say, how many are coming in Form 1?
So we
200, 200 bursary forms, but they must fill the bursary form. You don't fill the bursary form, you do not get the bursary.
Let's play the devil's advocate and still take a message from Ombimo, who says that he is resident of Kisumu East, and this is what he says. Mamboleo Miwani Road, which he should have championed, or which he should champion for as Member of Parliament, pollution of River Kibos by his Asian brothers, schools in pathetic conditions, for example, Obuolo, Kindu, secondary schools, etc., which fall under the Member of Parliament. And of course, the claims of favoritism in bursaries, lack of representation in national issues. And of course, they say that you have gone quiet on the aspect of BBI, and they'd want to know what's
Okay, let me tell you.
Okay?
Let me tell you. Firstly, let's start with BBI. I was on the Constitution Review in the year 2019, 18. We went and I was tear gassed so many times.
Yes.
That constitution that was bastardized in Navasha had every item what the BBI has. Nothing new.
Nothing new.
Now the fact of the issue is, I'm not going to go around the country flying with this BBI. They are going to every county. Why should I fly to Mombasa to go and be seen with the BBI? No. Come to Kisumu. I'm politics is local.
Yeah.
It's my Kisumu. I am not interested in showing people my face in Mombasa.
All right.
Point one, because my people do not benefit.
Okay.
Now let's go the other ones.
CDF.
CDF.
Money.
Okay,
Which
I've
is-
explained to you what we're doing.
Yes.
10 million per ward.
Right.
What can we do? We do the best we can, and you see what we are doing. We have 57 schools. There's not one dirt classroom.
Right.
Not one. We have security installations. We have done roads which were not meant to do. The Mamboleo road. What they don't know is I do not brag.
Right.
I have a file that thick. And as I've been fighting for this for the last 8 years, including the president, and the fact that I have a petition with Parliament, I have taken many issues. Even the other day, Ken Ha called me because I had gone to the minister, and I've been going to them many, many times.
Right.
And we've even threatened to go with stones to break Barabara Plaza. No.
Yeah.
We've done that.
Absolutely.
And he's promised me, and the minister's promised me in writing, and I have these things. And they said, right now we are now assessing, and we are now putting out the tender. So by the time it happens, what this guy will come and do will claim he did something.
Let's not focus much on him.
No,
because then I
but
think
no,
it's
these are what
Yes.
they do.
Yeah.
I don't brag.
But don't you think then it worries the people of Kisumu that they elected you
But
to
they
represent
know
them? They
this-
believe that you had the muscle and
But I
stamina to
am
be able
doing
to
it.
deal with this.
I am doing it. I'm not bragging.
Okay.
If you want, when they come and they ask me, here, look at the files.
All right.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
What we don't do is brag. Then what are you talking about Obolo School? Obolo is one of the best schools that we have. It's the only school that has now a complete football pitch with it.
Okay.
Abolo, Kindu, these ones I'm talking about.
He mentions,
that
yeah.
He says are in a pathetic situation. I wish you could go and see those pathetic situations. He is the one who has nothing more to say, so he has to go and say, and I would challenge you to come and see those schools.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of my secondary schools. It's some of these things Abolo has 4 laboratories.
Laboratories. Okay.
4 laboratories. Abolo has a boarding school. So I can't understand.
All
what he's
right.
talking
Yes,
about.
Obiba, I hope you're challenged to procead and go and see that. Probably you're
Yes.
talking about a different
Yes, Omimo,
Obolo, or
come
maybe
and
that
see.
Obibo,
But he
yes, I
knows
think.
very well. What else did he say? He said he's told about.
We have it right here.
Oh, Kibos.
Yes, Kibos.
Wow, we've been fighting Kibos. I've been fighting on Kibos for the last 8 years.
And I think
Not
that is
in-
the biggest of worry.
not-
That's why they
not
sort
for
of
the-
feel like they're
I am there.
underrepresented.
I've arranged even demonstrations. I do things in my way quietly. I do not brag.
Why, after all these years, we've not been able to get anything?
Well, what do you think? Why do they close the school now? How have they closed the factory?
Yes.
Do you think it worked like this? No, it's a series of events.
Right.
That's why they had to force the factory
What does it
closed.
mean then when the factory is closed? It's true, by the way.
Yes.
They argue that maybe the aspect of health is key.
No.
But then equally, the employment aspect is
No,
also very
listen to it.
important.
Yeah, now they are attacking me that I'm the one behind the closure of the factory. Yes, we said you cannot misuse. That river now has not even cows can drink water from there.
Yeah.
That river now is dead. That river now is. I've been fighting for this. It has been taken a long time. Took it to court, took NEMA samples, did this, did that. We have taken petitions. They've bribed half my councillors. They've even bribed the county. The governor even went there. Governor told him everything is all right. They've been taking, somebody went the other day, took 3 million shillings. I was telling those guys, the amount of money you spent bribing our officials. And I've even talked to the minister of NEMA, and I hold him to task. I can challenge the minister of NEMA. I wrote to you. What did you do? You have not gone there. I went with the CAS. We went there. Who do you think gave the information to Nation?
All right.
How do you
Nation
think this was happening?
Okay.
These are issues that took place. When the Mamboleo Road starts getting worked, you will see that somebody else will come. This bridge he was talking about. This bridge he was talking about. Where was he? When I took Maram and I blocked that
So
road.
you feel like you've represented the people of Kajulu East and Kisumu at
And
large,
Kajulu
as
is my
expected.
strongest supporters.
Kisumu East, all right.
They're my strongest supporters.
Okay, well, let's, of course, address that aspect of CDF, and, I will treat this as
And-
an
and
allegation, yes.
one other minute,
The aspect
allegation.
of nepotism, yes,
No,
because then it's
allegation.
something that costs, yes.
No, there's a law.
Right.
There's CDF. My wife is not. the manager of CDF.
All right, so
And if he
those are
said that-
mere allegations.
No, not what he said.
Right.
We can take that fellow to court.
Right.
Because if he says that and he says that officially, we take him to court.
Right.
Because he's not. However,
Yeah.
she is the constituency manager. That is no doubt about it. That one was cleared by the Speaker of the National
National
Assembly in the
Assembly.
7th, in the 10th Assembly, 11th Assembly, and 12th Assembly. They are members. She is recruited by the Parliament. And who isn't? You see all members of Parliament, their wives are there, their brothers are there.
You're right.
We are very official. We've told them, made the clarification that this is my wife. She's a member of the constituency. What does the constituency manager do? Look after the constituency staff, full stop. And not involved in any development work, nothing whatsoever. Why has he got a problem?
And you're confident that she's probably doing the right thing?
I
Because
am
nepotism,
yes.
is something that has been
no,
reported.
if I had a different manager, we've had other people who've conned us.
Yeah.
So I'm very clear and very happy about it. And I've challenged anybody, and I've told them to go to court. If it was such an issue, why wouldn't they have taken this issue to court? Why would have somebody not issued it?
Okay.
Because they did. It was told, they were told very clearly everybody has a right. So when we go and recruit somebody, it is the prerogative of the MP to decide who's going to be his manager in the constituency. It's the prerogative of the MP to make sure that his constituency works.
All right.
It's the prerogative of the national government, CDF, to
proceed.
make sure that we have a CDF board.
Okay, let's, fair and square, I'd want to say, let's drop that one and focus on, let's take us back on the Auditor General's report in what they had talked about, the aspect of underutilization of the budget, you know, talking of 7.5 not being used and spending on approved projects at some point in time. Wouldn't
Approved.
you say then, yes, unapproved, yes?
No,
projects.
they're not unapproved.
This is according to the Auditor General's
Okay.
report, yeah? That was sometimes in 2019. And then the question then would
What
be,
was the
wouldn't it
unapproved?
match projects,
No,
different projects?
You see, the thing is,
Sorry.
you take the parasite on the tail of the elephant.
If we get into details, then we would
Okay.
start mentioning
No,
all this,
please,
and because of
let's do that.
the interest of time.
No, not that. That's very important. First, let's talk about the
This is it. I just picked
underutilization.
a chunk of
Okay,
the
let's talk about the
report.
underutilization.
Yes.
Underutilization, we are in 2020, the year 2019-20.
I agree.
Okay,
and we're
hold
crossing
on.
over. Yes.
1 minute. Have we got all our CDF funds for the year 2019-20?
Have we? No.
Okay. So what they will do is they will say that these funds are unutilized, underutilized, yet we haven't got the funds. You understand me? We plan a year and a year ahead. So we have a plan. So this is what we're going to do. I cannot decide because we put some money in this school because the money is not come. Will come next year. We'll put it in the other school.
Right.
No. So what happens is then they say underutilized. However, they've not sent us the money. At this moment in time, that we are expecting about 50 million shillings have still not come to us.
Right.
Yet when the Auditor General will come, which is now June,
yes.
and he will say, and
This
because the
fund
money
has not
will
been-
come to us probably in the last 2 weeks of June. And then they will say unutilized.
If we match these statements of what, of course,
Yeah.
Roy has said, in terms of the fact that you did so much during the first term,
No, but the
not
same
so much,
sort of
and then you
situ-
match with this aspect where they say money has been underutilized. I mean, how then do we get ourselves out
No,
there?
hold on a second.
Yes.
You see, when he is talking about this, he has no idea of what was happening.
Okay.
You know, when I came in, there was lots of money still not received. So we were catching up on the previous MPs and making do. Other MPs just dumped what the old MP had done.
Right.
I went and finished it. So the situation is, when we talk about unutilized, understand what we talk about.
Right.
Unutilized, even with the government, unutilized, if the government doesn't give you the money.
Are you people addressing that to ensure that it's fast-tracked at the level
it's
of the
not.
House?
We will not get it. You see, we
Right.
will not get it. Always we are fighting for it.
Right.
We are fighting for it now. The money says there's no money. But what they will do towards the end of the year, they will give you some money.
And we're also looking at towards the end of the term.
And then you see what you have to do. You have to tender the project. You cannot tender a project without money.
Right.
You have to tender 4 weeks. Then you have got to pre-assess another 6 weeks and whatever. It can take 3 months before project starts. So the thing is, at the end of the month, when they come to audit, I'm an auditor. Audit is done at a point in time,
Yes.
not a continual thing.
Right.
If they do it continual, what is called...
Are they not alive to this fact?
No, you see, that is what an auditor does.
Right.
An auditor, by law and by the profession, does it at the point of time, as of the 31st of December.
Overlooking all these other factors.
Oh, yes. What they should be doing is looking at these factors, asking the explanation, then putting it in context with the explanation.
Okay.
Auditors believe in what is called speculation, not speculation, making big things. So if you look at our unutilized, you will find that most of the unutilized they're talking about is the fact that we didn't get the money. Yes.
Unfortunately, because then it alters.
Yes.
your
You see, like now, I have to borrow from certain places to pay bursary.
Knowing that this money will come and then you're going to pay.
So I'll have to repay, because the thing is, the law of this country nowadays is you cannot tender for a classroom or whatever if you don't have the money.
Okay.
Some people do. And then what happens at the end, there's what is called unpaid bills.
Which is something that we're grappling with.
Against the law.
Especially on the aspect of devolution, and I'll ask you that question later on. Yes. All right, but before we delve into that question of devolution, which is something that you championed for, so much so, but it looks like it's taking a different turn from what we all expected.
Because devolution was never meant to be 47 countries. Devolution, the way we passed it, the way we were looking at it, was 8 or 9. And the way BBI talking about it, we were saying. Now BBI are saying, let's go back into the 9. And then we have super mayors, super governors. We did that.
And
you guys spoiled it. Uhuru Kenyatta, all of these people, Raila Odinga, they all went, Ruto and all of these people, Amos Wako, Orengo.
Would you have been talking with the same tone if at all you were elected under ODM?
Yes.
You would have been speaking on the same.
Yes, that's
all right. Let's first listen into what some of the people of Kisumu East had to say in regards to the roads also and the situation down on ground.
And the roads is not under my. And
I think that is something that we also need to discuss before the show is out. Let's listen into this.
It has been a sorry state for almost 10 years. We have reached out to Kera, we have reached out to Kenha, who have in effect declared this road an orphan because it does not have a place that they can operate from. So the residents have come together and we are appealing to the county government, we are appealing to our member of parliament that the people of Kajulu are also voters and it is our right to have the services just like any other person. Mamboleo Junction to Guba. The people have contributed their time. The companies have contributed vehicles, they have contributed materials like the crusher dust, maram, graders, lorries. So for today, we are just maramming this road on our own initiative. After this, we have the issue of insecurity, which is also an issue that is somehow tied to this road. Because of this road, there's high unemployment rate in this area. Because people cannot bring businesses here, the youth cannot be employed because of this road.
Hii barabara ni ya national government na tulichagua MP mwenye hawezi ongea Kiswahili ama English kwa parliament. Sasa shida ni vile tulichagua MP mwenye hawezi ongea juu ya hii barabara. Tulichagua unga. Sasa wenye wanalia hapa hao ndio wenye walipigia Muhindi kura. Sasa mimi naona wacha hii barabara hii bridge yanguke chini ndio wajue muhimu ya kuchagua leader. Huwezi chagua leader mwenye kazi yake ni kuleta tu unga na kwa matanga, kazi yake tu ni unga. Hakuna toilet moja amejenga Tanga, amesenda parliament 15 years. Hata choo hajajenga Kisumu East.
And I think I'll take those ones to be questions, Mheshimiwa, because genuinely, yes, they acknowledge that indeed yours is not the role to deal with the aspect of the road. But the reason why I brought this on board, even as I give you a chance to react to them, is because you're not the first member of parliament I'm hosting. I've hosted a couple of them, and they keep saying that, that is not their role, but the role is under the hands of Kera, Kura, and there's always this, throwing at each other, and everyone is saying that you're supposed to do this and everything. How many years are we going to be talking about this? Yet the members of parliament who are supposed to represent us and address this are the ones who are crying foul and yet doing nothing.
You see, firstly, let's understand this. Under devolution, all the Kera is for Kenya Rural Roads Authority.
Right.
Kura is Kenya Urban Roads Authority. KENHA is Kenya National Highways Authority. Then there are others. I have only one road under the constituency, and that's called Chiga Robor. Meaning we get in the region of 10 or 12 million shillings a year, 12 million shillings a year only, 10 to 12, to do what is called maintenance of the road.
Of the roads, yeah.
And you know that is nearly 20, 30 kilometers of road.
Yeah.
If you look at the cost of doing 1 kilometer of road, Maram, it is 5 million shillings. Now, that's where the thing. The county has also roads in my constituency,
Yes.
which are their responsibility,
Right.
for which they have got nearly 80 million shillings. 80 plus. Now, they should be coordinating with me so that we can do some of these roads. Going on to that particular road. These guys, these people who have just been talking, I was the one who contributed the maram out of my own pocket.
Right.
I'm the one who sent them lorries out of my own pocket. We did this and we helped the demonstration. And they said this is what they want to do. I put my people out and we went to listen to them. I have a long letter from them acknowledging what we have done. The problem with people like this are these are seekers of these, you know, they will never
But they
find
also
something.
acknowledge there is a national government.
Hold on.
Yes.
We've done, what they said they have done
Right.
is actually what we have done together with them.
But Mheshimiwa, you cannot be getting money out of your pockets every other time.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
That's what they think. Because I say, my salary is your salary.
Right.
I do not get a cent of my salary. I use my salary for the people.
For the people.
Yes.
Which is not fair at all.
Not fair, but still. The situation here on the Kera, that particular piece of road, is that I have fought for that road more than anybody else in my constituency, more than even my colleague of Mohroni, who was also that road goes to.
Yeah.
I told them I'm only interested in 6 kilometers of that road. After that, I'm not interested.
It's a common problem in most of the constituencies.
Hold on.
Okay.
But you see, I've taken this initiative. When, after 5 years, we succeed, which we are now succeeding. I was only called the other day and told that now we have reallocated some money, and because of what you have done, we have reallocated some money. We'll do that road. So we'll do that road. So will they say anything? No. But that is the way it is. That is the way I.
But at the level of Parliament, the level of the House.
At the level of Parliament.
Yes.
If you ask me, I will send to you a petition. What else can I do? I've taken a whole petition.
Have we gotten such at the level of Parliament? Because I am telling you, it is a common problem across all the constituencies.
You see, no other constituent. I don't know how many petitions have gone to Parliament.
Right.
Very few on roads. What we do is we just make a noise in the roads where this is not done, this is not done, this is not done, and the guy comes and we say, and they say we'll try to do, but they have no money. We have actually set a petition. That petition has been there 5 years in the Senate. Then every year when it runs out, we review the petition. The petition is coming up again now. As a result of that petition, the fact that an issue is that I told President Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta, you come to my constituency again, and this road is not being done. And he called Kera and whatever, and he said, what's happening? I said, well, Your Excellency, this is what the people are doing. And why am they doing it? Because why have they reclassified? They reclassified the road from KENHA, because that's a national highway, to Kera. Kera is a rural, and they don't have the money. It was a sabotage. That was a sabotage. They wanted the money. That is the Trans-Africa Railway Highway. They sabotaged it, and they brought it up to only Nandi Hills, up to the end of, after the Rift Valley end, and left it there, from Londiani. They left it there. That was sabotage. And I said to the President that you, with others, sabotaged our road.
Sadly, time is not so much on our
Yes,
side.
no, but it's a fact.
But it's fine. Yeah, time is not really much on our side. But then again, when we hear some of these allegations or maybe these talks coming from the people, who are the voters? Is it not time when we probably
let me talk about
change
the
tax?
What
as you
hurts
wind
these
up.
people the most of all is that I am at every single funeral. What hurts these people who want to fight me, or worst of all, is I am with the people.
Right.
The people know where I am. I walk to the funerals. I take unga myself. It's my own money. They treat me as their son. These guys.
How about you change tax maybe if at all this is not?
Why? You know, Luo, it's a tradition of Luos at a funeral that is our tradition. We take food and we serve the food and we mourn our dead and we celebrate our dead and we come back.
Right.
These guys don't turn up. They come up with a bit of money. What beats them most of all, that I've been doing this regularly.
That's coupled with the proposal
14,
of Roy. Wouldn't it have been much better?
No, listen to me.
Right.
He himself told you that I was taking fertilizer and seeds. They themselves told you. We did. There is no other member of parliament. I took nearly 20 tons of seed. Yeah, I didn't take fertilizer, 20 tons of seed.
Right.
We did that. The situation is, and they grew the seed, and they call it, that's why they call me Uga. Because they grew the seed, and they had never had that type of maize before.
Right.
The situation is that now we were told that this is a county government thing. I was told to stay away from bringing going into the maize because I can be persecuted. Yeah, this is under agriculture. What I was told, if you want to bring seed to the 190, give it to the county and we'll give it to them.
Right.
You must be joking. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, well, sadly enough, there's so much to discuss yet. Time does not allow us to do that. But thank you so much for your time. It was great having you. And yes, of course, those also are the views of the people of Kisumu. So I think, thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Allow me to call it. Thank you. Let's say this because of the question of time. Also there needs to be discipline of time.
If I went as an independent against ODM.
Let's first of all wind up and then we'll finish this with Mheshimiwa. It was great having you, Honorable
with a margin of 10,000 votes.
Thank you so much for your time. And of course, in the best interest of time, we would have had time to discuss this and much more. But all the same, we say thank you so much for your time and for keeping us company up until now. We cross fingers that things will go back to equilibrium and we'll certainly have another session with a different leader next week on Tuesday. My name is Linda Alela. Thank you so much once again, Honorable Shabil Shakir. And lastly, we're doing this with Josephine Ouko. See you again next time. Do have yourself a lovely evening.